In the spirit of the Oscars and the award season, I want to take this opportunity to make this video examining some of the dark stories and past of the 2016 Oscars Honorary Award winner, Jackie Chan. Now at the end of this video, I will tie this back into kind of my thoughts and feelings on some of the controversies and scandals surrounding the frontrunners of the Oscars this year. So firstly, who is Jackie Chan? Jackie Chan is actually just a stage name. He was born 1954 in Hong Kong. He was originally named Chan Kong Sang, but after going on an Ancestry.com journey, he legally changed his name to Fang Shilong. Now, as previously mentioned, he's the 2016 Oscars Honorary Award winner. Now, for those of you who might not know, especially probably the younger viewers among us, Jackie Chan is actually a very famous art actor and martial artist. You might know him from this meme or from the Rush Hour franchise. Now, as you can see, he always has this kind and funny on-screen persona. He's always this very straight shooting type of guy, right? And he actually, as a fun fact, I found out that he was the inspiration for the founding of the website Rotten Tomatoes. And the founder of Rotten Tomatoes actually loved Jackie Chan's films so much that he wanted to create this review aggregation website to promote his films to a Western audience who weren't that familiar with him back then. But actually, Jackie is one of the few examples of someone who really has a polarizing reputation. Like, the Western audiences really love him for his on-screen, optimistic, happy type of vibes. But I think his reputation with Eastern audiences are, let's say, mixed at best. Now, to start off on a slightly more light-hearted note, obviously as a global superstar, he has the job of doing a lot of brand ambassadorships and representing a lot of brands. But he was really cursed with this inexplicable reverse Midas Touch where everything he touches dies. Now, in 1970s, Jackie Chan started his partnership with Mitsubishi Motors, a Japanese car maker. And from 1980s onwards, Mitsubishi cars started appearing in Jackie Chan films. It was really a relationship almost like Aston Martin and James Bond. Mitsubishi Motors even released a special line of cars commemorating Jackie Chan. Now, from 2000 onwards, Mitsubishi Motors started getting plagued with scandals after scandals. And all of this really dated back to 1977, which is when they started covering up the defects in their cars. Now, in 1994, Jackie Chan represented Subaru, which is basically a Chinese brand of rip-off Nintendos. And in 2020, the company went bankrupt. In 1997, Jackie Chan represented a Chinese electronics brand called Idol VCD. And in 1999, the company was shut down and the founder was arrested for fraud. In 1998, Jackie Chan represented Feng Huang Cola, which is a Chinese rip-off brand of Coca-Cola. And in 2001, the company was shut down. In 2004, Jackie Chan represented a Chinese shampoo brand called Bawang. In 2010, it was discovered that Bawang shampoos contained a carcinogen 1,4-dioxane. Now, they have denied these claims, but since then, the brand had never recovered. In 2008, Jackie Chan represented a Chinese food brand called Senior Dumplings. And in 2011, all of their products were ordered to be removed by the Chinese government because it was found that it contained you have to read this one yourself on screen, but long story short, it kills people. Now, in 2010, Jackie Chan represented the Russian antivirus brand Kaspersky. From 2015 onwards, Western governments started stopping people from using Kaspersky because it was discovered that they were kind of tied to the Russian government and that they might be hacking foreign government computers. Now, in Jackie Chan's defense, if you ever thought that a Russian government-sponsored antivirus software was somehow completely clean, let me know where you live. I have a bridge to sell you. In 2014, Jackie Chan represented Evergrande Water, which is the mineral water sub-brand under Evergrande Property Developments. And in 2021, if you haven't heard of the Evergrande scandal by now, please leave a comment. We might do a video explaining that further down the line, but basically there's this massive, the biggest Chinese property developer that just went completely bust. In 2014, Jackie Chan represented Chico Aircorn. And in 2026, the company went bankrupt and had to shut down. Just a quick side note on this. Like, I know he's not exactly the most handsomest man on planet Earth, but like, what the fuck did they do with his face here? Like I never understand when advertising campaigns like felt the need to just kind of like overly alter or beautify their star's face. Like at this point, like, do I even recognize who this is? Like, does anyone even recognize who this is? Like, what's the point of hiring him to begin with? Like, if you're that unhappy with his appearance, right? Like, it's side point, but still, it's something that I'm constantly very frustrated with about these things. Now, moving on to one of the last examples, there are probably some that I haven't heard of or I don't know, but you know, these are the ones that I could found to the best of my knowledge. But this one was really by far the most egregious one. In 2009, Jackie Chan was chosen as the anti-drug ambassador for the Chinese government. And, would you know it, in 2014, his son JC was arrested by the Chinese government for drug use. Now, this has really been quite an impressive track record so far already, but if you don't trust me, don't take my word for it. This is a pretty famous Chinese businesswoman called Dong Mingzhu, and she was the CEO of a company called Gree Electric. And the company actually fired Jackie Chan as the brand ambassador, because she said in 2016 that all the companies Jackie Chan represented are dead. Now, since then, the company has actually still been doing reasonably well, but they've been plagued with countless lawsuits and scandals, and Dong herself had actually had to step down as CEO earlier this year. But at this point, given the track record, I think you take the L and you cut your losses and you move on, right? Now, onto the less superstitious stuff. In 1982, Jackie Chan was actually married, and that was the same year his aforementioned son JC was born. But in 1999, he was exposed for having an extramarital affair with a Hong Kong actress pictured here. In response to that, in 1999, he held a press conference where he said that he made a mistake that all men in the world would make. And bro, I know it was a different time, but the reputation of men have really been dragged through the mud already. We really did not need you to pin this on us. He also said in the same press conference that he will take responsibility if it was proven that the child was actually his. And spoiler alert, he did not. In 1989, Jackie Chan joined the Concert for Democracy in China. And here I would like to remind you that these are his words, not mine. He said that Chinese people will never bow down to authoritarianism in support of the June 4th protests in Tiananmen Square in Beijing. 10 years later, he said, nah, fuck that. He said Chinese people need to be ruled over. In the same event, he also said that anything that was made in China would explode. And he said that Hong Kong people and Taiwan people have way too much freedoms and they really need to be dominated. Which, given what happens in 2014, is actually pretty ironic. But also, I think, regardless of your political opinion on this matter, we can all agree that it's a pretty fucked up thing to say. Now, earlier this year, in 2026, Jackie Chan was at a gala dinner with a famous Hong Kong singer, Joey Yong, where he was caught on tape doing this. Now, even to an Eastern audience who generally is less sensitive towards these sort of things, everybody was immediately like, whoa, that's not okay, right? I have to add that Joey's manager has since come out after the incident and said that Jackie is kind of like a father figure to the singer, so he didn't mean it that way. But let's just say I think it's fair to say that it was a very insensitive behavior, to say the least. The true nature of the touch, well, I think I'll leave you to be the judge of that. Now, to bring it all back to the award shows this year, for those of you who don't know, there have been lots of controversies and scandals surrounding a lot of the front runners for the Oscars this year. Although I do suppose that kind of by this point that really is part of the show. So frontrunner for Best Actress, Jessie Buckley, said in an interview that, she made her husband choose between keeping his cats and herself. And her co-star in the film Hamlet, Paul Mescal, agreed with her and said, screw the cats. Now, obviously, there's also the very infamous quote now from Timothée Chalamet, frontrunner for Best Actor for his role in Marty Supreme, where he said that, ballet and opera are irrelevant. I'm not saying this to defend these people. I don't know them personally. I don't know if they're a good person. But I think it's fair to say that these words really pale in comparison to all the things the proud winner of the 2016 Oscars Honorary Award has done and said. Actually, in researching this piece, I even found this subreddit called Chalamet Secrets, where, credit where credit is due. The subreddit was found in 2025, so it was really kind of way before all this controversy began, but is now solely dedicated to all of the bad things or alleged kind of pretentious things that Timothée Chalamet has done. My point in all of this really is that no matter how influential, how famous, or how powerful the person on this other side is, it's worth remembering that they're also human. And humans say stupid things, and they make stupid mistakes. I don't doubt that, Timothée Chalamet's quote probably shows that his head is a little bit up his ass. But if I were Timothée Chalamet, if I had his looks, had his talents, and if I was this famous at the age of 30, I think that my head would be pretty far up my ass as well. You'd probably see my head coming back out of my throat. To conclude, I really want to borrow a quote from one of my favorite characters, and that is Ted Lasso. Now, if you haven't seen the show, if you haven't heard of it, do leave a comment, and we'll probably want to talk about it later down the line. I think it's really a brilliant show. I highly recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to go and watch it. The quote is from season 3 of Ted Lasso, where it says, "I hope that either all of us or none of us are judged by the actions of our weakest moments, but rather by the strength we show when and if we're ever given a second chance." That being said, I do think the protagonist of the video today really has been given more than a few second chances. If you've made it this far, firstly, thank you so much for watching the video. It also probably means that you're at least okay with the content you're seeing here. So please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. And for the meantime, please check out this video for more of the similar good stuff.